How's everybody doing today? I certainly hope you're doing well. This is Monty over here on my Ghost channel. And you know what? We're going to have a little show for you tonight, except it's all true. For the people that I'm burping out your names, Mr. Berman, Mr. Terrici, Carrie, Freed, I don't care who you are. If you don't like what I'm saying, come and sue me. I can't wait to see you. Let's get it all on public record. And I'll bring this video with me, and I'll bring all the documents with me, and you bring yours. Okay? These people do not scare me. I fear no one. I'm sorry, I just don't. Okay? Because what I'm going to show you today is going to blow your mind. Sure will. And if you got the balls enough, rip it and flip it. If you don't, then don't. So let's go ahead and go through what this is all about. This is about the exact story in detail with state documents that are backing up my words. About Evi and Randy Quaid that are stuck in Canada and why they're stuck there. Why are they stuck there? Well, the reason why they're stuck there is because a big movie producer decided back in 1992 he was going to forge someone's name and steal their home. And today we're going to prove it to you. Isn't that neat? Right down to the last document. Oh, it's a lot of fun. So, now you're going to understand why Hillary Clinton, criminal Clinton, revoked their passport. Not because they had some bond out for their arrest and because they didn't appear to court or none of that stuff. They skipped off to Canada. No, they don't want them back in the United States. Because this video is going to prove to you, indeed, their house was stolen by bigwigs in Hollywood. Sure was. And there's a lot of powerful people involved with big money, boy. And there's hundreds of millions of dollars at stake. Isn't it? Yeah, sure is. So, let's go ahead and get down to where this all started. Let's go to the property that was purchased by Randy and Evi Quaid in 1989. That would be 1355 East Mountain Drive, Santa Barbara, California, 93108. Now, as you're looking at the value of it today, the estimate for it today is over $5 million. They purchased the home back then for not quite $2 million. But let's go ahead and figure out and see this on a state document to make sure that's right. If you look at the black circle up top, what does that say? October 25th, 1989. Okay? That home was purchased by Evi and Randy Quaid. Now, as most of you know, Randy Quaid is was a very famous actor because, you see, he's been stripped of his position, his money, his home, his citizenship, everything. He is now a nobody. And he needs a bunch of nobody's help to get him out of this pickle. But we're going to go ahead and get into that. Go ahead and look at the red circle. What do you see there? 1992, Bruce Berman. Yeah, a deed transfer between Randy Quaid and Bruce Berman? What? No. Oddly enough, that home that I just showed you there was sold in 2007 by Bruce Berman. But who did he sell it to? Oh, that's really easy to answer. He sold it to a gentleman by the name of Scott Terrici. Now, wait a minute. Who is Bruce Berman and who is Scott Terrici? Let's go ahead and break that down, shall we? This is going to be a lot of fun, sure will be. Let's see. Bruce Berman is the chairman, CEO of Village Roadshow Pictures. Google them. They're involved in every big production in Hollywood to this day. Monster ones. This guy is the producer of American Sniper. Sure is. Now, you see, Bruce Berman used to live at that property, and he owned that property. And he forged a document and had it notarized by a woman by the name of Rory Freed out of San Diego. But the home's in Santa Barbara. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? So, you see, Bruce Berman forged that document back in 1992. The property was only worth about $2 million then, and he sold it for over $5 million in 2007 to Scott Terrici. So he made a $3 million profit for doing absolutely nothing. So who is Scott Turicchi? Oh, that's easy to answer too. You see, Scott Turicchi is the president and CFO of J2 Global. Go look that up. Oh yeah, it's a monster company. It sure is. Publicly traded technology company based in Los Angeles, California. See that? Internet, all that good stuff. But Monty, this is impossible. Oh no, it's not. This is the real estate agent that sold the property to Turicchi. See her name right up there? Lisa Liacoyo, whatever her name is, right? Oh, you see that? 1355 East Mountain Drive? Yeah, that's a real estate agent that sold the property. Boy, isn't this magnificent? But Monty, that would never happen. Oh, yes, it would. Because you see, this year there was a whistleblower by the name of Nicole that burped out of her mouth that a top executive at Paramount was stealing money from the unions by the name of Stephen Kopakin. Now, Stephen Kopakin was fired. He sure was. Because apparently, according to Paramount, I guess he really was stealing. Oh, but that would never happen, would it? Well, sure it would. Because here's his mug right there. Uh-huh. I guess he stole some money from labor relations, labor unions, something like that, and they figured, you know what, you gotta go. But you see, they fired Nicole, the whistleblower. They sure did. Yeah, she had to go too. And now she's under some sort of, let's say, public, or not public, let's say business black shielding. In other words, she'll never work in the industry again because she told on him, right? So let's go to the notary. That's really important here. This woman's name is Rory Freed. As you see, that's her signature right there on that notary. Funny thing is, she was contacted, and she has stated out of her own mouth that, you know what, she doesn't have any logs. No. Her logs, her notary logs got lost in a flood. Even though she's in San Diego, you know, it floods there all the time. Big waves come in, tsunamis, and they have massive floods. You know how it is. Wow, that's really amazing. How is it that you did a deed transfer between Randy Quaid and Bruce Berman, who's the producer of American Sniper, that is also a big hotshot at Village Roadshow Productions, if you never met Randy Quaid? How is that possible? I was just kind of curious how that would be possible. I was just curious. I mean, can somebody explain that to me? Here's another thing I wanted to ask certain people. If you had a house in Santa Barbara, why in the hell would you travel all the way down to San Diego to have a notary notarize the deal? Because the funny thing is, if she never met Randy Quaid, and Randy Quaid, under some sort of proof, can prove that he was out of town shooting a movie, I tell you what, those damn records, they're so pesky. But you know what? It gets even better because TMZ is involved too. Sure are. You see, TMZ calls the police department about a warrant out for the arrest of Randy and Evi Quaid hours before they were arrested on September 24th of 2009. Now, why is this important? Oh, this is very important. You know what? We even got a document that's going to prove to you that this whole thing is a setup, it's a scam, it's a fraud. You see, Evi Quaid is not a dummy. Evi Quaid started snooping around into what the hell was going on with Randy Quaid's what is called a royalty stream. In other words, his royalties were being funneled through bogus trusts and bogus bank accounts through another person by the name of Rondell Quaid. I don't know if you're understanding this, but they were taking his revenue stream, they were rerouting the money, kind of like they did over there at Paramount. You know, that guy that got busted? How he's like stealing money from the unions and stuff? Yeah, kind of like that. And they're rerouting those royalty checks into another person's name into trusts, bogus trusts, and bogus bank accounts. But why would this arrest warrant be issued. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, it does. It makes a lot of sense. I'm going to show you what kind of sense it makes. As you can tell, 6/10/09, January, February, March, April, May, June. June 10th, 2009, their house went up for sale. In other words, Scott DeRicci, the guy at J2 Global, put that house up for sale. Well, you see, by then, something funky was going on, and Evi was on the trail. Sure was. So 3 months later, all right, after their house is stolen, of course, it went on the market, but magically they were arrested in Texas for a bogus supposed hotel charge. The facts are the hotel overcharged the Quaids, and TMZ called the police department in Texas hours before their arrest. How would TMZ know about the warrant? I'm just curious. How would they know about the warrant before the arrest was even made? Because it's a setup, buddy. It's a way to discredit these people and make them look like criminals. You got that? Yeah. To protect what? To protect the fraud of this home. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah. They were arrested. The cameras were right there to drag their names through the mud and make them look like criminals. Yep. So let's go ahead and continue. Now, Evi Quaid has a video up right now. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description down below so everybody can go see it. I was just kind of curious. How is it that Bruce Berman acquired the Quaids' house January 15th, 1992, when House and Garden took pictures of both Evi and Randy Quaid in May of 1993 at the property? I was just kind of curious if you could maybe explain that to me. So let me see if I get this straight. You mean to tell me that they would sell their house to another party and the other party would rent out the house to the party that bought it? Bullshit alert. Bullshit. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. The deed was forged over to Bruce Berman, who is the producer of American Sniper and a plethora of other blockbuster films. You got that? Then he turned around and sold it in 2007 for over $5 million. Here's another very suspicious thing. Let's see, whitehouse.gov, a petition was set up to try to render their passports back. That was done on April 10th, 2015. There's a Dabu 77 video up where you can go see that that's a fact. Also, the Dennis Quaid freakout video was leaked on the internet on April 10th, 2015. Do you suppose that was just a coinky-dink? No, ladies and gentlemen, it was not a coinky-dink. But why was it not a coinky-dink? Well, you know what? Let's do a little time travel, shall we? Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun. Sure will be. Because all these knuckleheads know they're about to get busted. Jay Knight, who is Dabu 7, on August 12th, published a video about them being set up. It had 26,000 views in about 48 hours. Sure did. That brings you to what? April 14th. And by then, the video that was published on April 10th had gotten momentum about who? About Dennis Quaid, his brother. Yep, sure did. And as you can see, Jimmy Kimmel on April 14th made a big old stink about it. Sure did. And confused the public between Dennis and Randy, and it worked. That's it. Please chime in, rip it and flip it. Later.